What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one. It's been a while since we've had a full-length video. Today, not going to get too in-depth, but going to talk about what's coming up. I got a few things in the works, and going to talk about them, and we're going to do a little bit of something here, but not get crazy into any kind of in-depth project. You can probably tell by the title, we're going to be working on some lure basics today. If you're like me, it's September tomorrow, September 1. You're thinking about a lot of different things. Dove season starts tomorrow here in Missouri. You're probably thinking about fall. I know I've had some trail cameras out with some pictures of some young bucks on it, and some bigger bucks in there too. I haven't fully shown them on the channel, but they're out there, and we're going to be working on them before too long. And if you're like me, you're torn between hunting season and trapping season. And since hunting season's a little ways out still, we're going to be working on some lures today. So, going to talk about some other stuff we'll be doing in the next few weeks later on at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Probably going to be going out of state to do some hunting this year, and I'm going to bring you along for that, hopefully. Maybe we'll get a mule deer down, but that's for later in the video. So right now we're going to talk about lures and what I've got or been working on up to this point and what we'll be using in the future. So let me show you here what I've got going. So what I've got here is a little bit of oil. Now last year, if you watched the channel, I had some beaver tail oil. I did in the same method. Chopped up some beaver tail, put it in a jar, and sun rendered it. I've done the same thing here, except this is not beaver tail. This is some skunk fat that I had rendering over the last few months, and I'm going to be using it as the base to some of my homemade lures. Now last year I made some homemade lure, and it ended up helping me catch my very first bobcat. So we're hoping to repeat some of that success coming up this year. I'm going to give you a little bit closer look. Last year when I did my beaver tail oil, it was like a really dark black, just like the top of this mineral lick tub I've got this on. But hopefully it's coming through there. This skunk oil is a really nice deep amber color, almost red. It's really pretty, honestly. But we're going to get some of it bottled up today and have it as a base for making my lure. So to get this project underway, I've went ahead and picked up a couple things. One, I went to my local farm supply store and picked me up a 35 milliliter syringe. Should be able to pull up to about an ounce there of the oil. And whenever I just happened to be in the Dollar General store the other day looking around, I found a 4-piece travel kit, and it's got some of these hand sanitizer sized jars with the same little dispenser type lids. So I'm going to try those out. They should work just fine, and I got 4 of them there. That one with the spray nozzle, I don't ever expect to use this in a spray form, but I can switch out those other heads on there whenever I go to use it. So just use it to bottle up. I don't think that this is probably enough to even fill up all 3 of those, which is fine because I'm going to have probably some straight skunk oil, and then I'm probably going to mix it together and make some other full different type lures that I've made. So let's get this jar broke open and start filling up some canisters here. Alright, got everything staged up here, and I'm going to try to keep from pulling any of the solids up. I thought to myself earlier, one of the best things I could do would be find a small piece of almost like aquarium tubing to get the tubing down in there and keep the tip of the syringe from getting any of the solids up in it, but I couldn't find any around that I might have. was a good one. That's a 1/2 ounce right there. Put a full ounce in this middle one. That way I know what a full ounce is roughly in a jar. And I'll try and get another ounce out of this, but I don't know if I will. Now I also have some of my beaver tail oil left over from last year, so I'm sure whatever I get put in these jars I'll probably have left over also next year. But I may also go through it if it works really well. And if you can see there, I got a lot of that solid left in there. I'm going to use that as the base to some bait that I may be making this year also. I most likely will be making. That's another day for another video. I'll take some of this that's been mixed up. And it's probably all I'm going to get without getting any solids. So throw it in there. And what the heck, let's just combine these two. So I'll just put that in there. So probably out of this one skunk that I trapped last year, I got about 2 ounces, it looks like, of rendered fat. Not bad. I didn't just absolutely scrape him for it whenever I did this. But I'll let this sit. Maybe a little more will render out. I'll probably fill up this guy some other day. And then whatever I decide to mix in, I'll probably put in this jar with some of that as my base. And then my other ingredients. I'll probably keep this one since it's pretty much that nice pure amber color. I'll just keep it as an additive to put it a set. And we'll have some new homemade lures for the year. So like I said, did a quick bottling there video of the oil. Showed you a little bit what that skunk oil's like. I thought it was a little unique, a little different. So getting down to what I was saying earlier, future plans, updates. Dove season starts tomorrow in Missouri. Might try and do that. We'll just see. Not got a ton of doves in the area lately. Thought about going to conservation area and seeing about doing that, but the closest one to me is like 40 miles away, where they've actually planted dove fields with like sunflowers and stuff. So not sure if we'll make it out to do that. Also, like I said, mule deer. I got a Nebraska tag to do some archery mule deer hunting. Season for that starts tomorrow also on September 1st. So between now and December 31st, I can go to Nebraska and do some archery mule deer hunting. Gonna do that. Gonna try and take a week out there. My dad's going with me, so maybe he can do a little filming if I'm able to get up close to one and maybe get a shot, but no promises. If you know anything about western hunting or even public land hunting, it's not always the easiest thing to do, especially in Nebraska. not a ton of public land out there. In fact, probably one of the lowest western states, or at least west of the Mississippi, as far as public land. I looked it up recently and it's not got a whole lot. So gonna do my best out there. If you know anything about mule deer, antelope populations, they took a pretty big hit last year. I know Wyoming, South Dakota area, I know Wyoming for sure did some cutbacks on the tags allocation this year from it. So not sure how the mule deer in Nebraska fared, but most of them are in the western portion of the state, which not that far from South Dakota and the Wyoming area. So we'll see. Gonna head out there probably middle October. That's kind of what I'm shooting for right now, and that's what work is permitting me to do. So stay tuned with me. Going forward, probably going to see a few more videos, a little bit longer ones at least. I've been trying to put up some shorts along. You've probably seen a few deer. Snuck up on some bachelor buck groups. Go check out that short. There's a decent buck in there, even for a young one. Pretty interesting. Been seeing a lot of fawns and some does here and there. But I'm not just like went out with a spotting scope and tried to view anything. Not really the type of area here in Missouri to do that. Most of my areas that I put up trail cameras are just pass-through areas. I want to see where they're moving to and from. I can kind of get an idea where they're at otherwise, just from which way they're heading. So that being said, that's probably going to be it for this video. If you got any advice to what I should mix in with my skunk oil there, using it as a base for my lure, go ahead and drop that down below. Got some bait ideas also, probably make a video on that whenever I decide to get into that real hardcore. I could probably do that in the next couple weeks. It's supposed to heat up, probably be a good idea to do that just to get some of the meat to ferment. And other than that, I'll probably see you in the next one. Bye-bye.